meet you.
Very good to meet you. Yes.
Okay.
And the white lions hold the key to restoring the ecosystems. How it works is that there is a pyramid in nature. It's a food chain. Every single component of that pyramid is important. From the ground, the prey base, the food base, all the way up to the apex predator. And the white lion is the king of the kings. It's the tip of the pyramid. Now, if you take the pyramid away, everything serves everything else, so it collapses. But if you put the king back into the kingdom, it restores order again. That's the good news. Through trophy hunters and people taking white lions, putting them into cages to breed them, to kill them. There were no white lions left in the wild. There are 1,000 trophies coming out of Africa, lion trophies every year. What people are now doing in South Africa is they are taking lions from the national park and breeding them in cages to release them, to kill them. Tame lions, and it's linked with a whole tourism industry where they, first of all, breed the lions for people. They breed the lions for people to handle them at parks. So people see these beautiful baby lions. They are exquisite. They're just like little lion lambs. They are adorable. And that same lion that is just passed from one person to the next like a commodity, and everyone pays however much yen to hug this baby lion. It just gets passed on from one to the other. And people feel the love with that baby. But that same baby is put into a cage and later killed as a trophy. It's a terrible commoditizing of the king of animals. And, you know, this is the end of our consumer culture. When the king of animals is treated like a commodity, then it's the end of nature. And when nature collapses, when ecosystems collapse, human systems collapse. There were 24 lions in that pride. 24 lions, 5 males. One was a notorious lion because he had had his tail ripped off in a territorial fight, and gangrene was growing up the tail. So he was very aggressive because he was dying in the most agonizing way. And we saw him amongst the group, and he was in a predatory crouch like this before a lion springs. So he was going to jump, we thought, onto our vehicle. So this was a nightmare come true. And because it was at night, we had a battery attached to, a spotlight attached to a battery. We were in a very low, open vehicle, like a 1940s Jeep that was low to the ground. So the lions could just jump up very easily. And a woman came walking on foot, dressed in traditional African dress, and she had a baby strapped to her back. An old woman, she was walking barefoot on the ground without a light in the darkness, and a little boy in front of her, and they walked straight through the lions, and the lions became calm. It was amazing. And in that moment, my life changed because something happened there. Anyway, when I think about it, it was like she was carrying a flame of courage, and she walked through the lions, came into the vehicle, and she just held courage. That woman saved everyone's lives, and she changed our lives. But actually, it took a bit of time, because in my case, it was as if she lit a flame in me. But it was like a long fuse, and it burnt and burnt and burnt and burnt. It took 3 years. I went back to my life, which was in advertising and modeling in this artificial world where you create images and branding and you influence people to buy products they don't want. This was the world I was in, and it felt so empty and so superficial because something amazing had happened that night that was reality. So this fuse burnt, and finally it blew up in my face, and I realized I can't stay in this world anymore. I gave up my husband, my job, my life, and I went back to Africa to find this woman. It had taken 3 years, and when I found her, she was in the middle of an African village, and she was the medicine woman of that village, very famous woman called the Lion Queen of Timbavati. People traveled on foot many kilometers to come to her to get her healing. She was a great healer. And when I finally arrived, she looked at me like this and she said, it's taken you a long time to wake up. Now let's get down to work. Basically, that's when the teaching began. She told me that my task was to be the keeper of the white lions, the most sacred lions on the African continent. I mean, we are so aware of systems collapsing, but there actually is a solution, and that is restoring order. We'll come to how the solution works, but restoring order through love and respect. It's really as simple as that. When humans show love and respect for other animals, we are animals, so I'm saying other animals, we will restore order on this planet because we hold that consciousness of true lion-heartedness. Lion-heartedness is a particular consciousness. It is a fearlessness inspired by love and respect for nature that enables you to change your world for the better. And that is what Maria Kossa held when she walked through the lions, but it's a quality that all of us can hold. That's it, love and respect for nature. When we hold that, we have that consciousness that restores balance in our planet. When we lose love and respect, we become unbalanced. We do stupid things, things that are destroying ourselves and nature. Every day, hundreds, if not thousands of species are going extinct, even species we don't know about, each of which plays an intrinsic role in the balance and harmony and beauty of our planet. And many of us just don't even know. Like many of us don't even think when we eat meat that that was an animal. That was an animal whose life we have taken, and we haven't even said thank you. So this is happening now, and it cannot continue. It cannot continue for even a few decades. It is on the very edge of collapse. So you say, well, is there any hope? Absolutely there is hope. And I get my hope from the white lions because they have shown me there is a way back to restoring our planet. We have to do it by restoring ourselves, and then nature restores herself because nature is God created. Nature is divine. If we don't think that, well, then maybe there isn't any hope for us. If we think, oh, nature is something that we can destroy and pollute and rape, and we actually think that we can survive the destruction of our planet, maybe there isn't any hope for us. But if we think that nature is divine, which nature is divine, then we absolutely have a way back to restoring it, because she can restore herself. We just have to restore the love and respect for her. Anyone can restore nature. if you restore that sense of love and respect for anything, for the dog who's been forgotten in your household, for the water fountain that's been giving you water all this time. You don't have to be out in nature. You can be in the city. I mean, Tokyo is beautiful. You can find a tree that has been forgotten and honor the tree that is giving oxygen to you, without which you would be incapable of living. And that act restores your connection with nature. There's an umbilical cord that connects all of us. We are nature. That's why in all language, that's why we have human nature, mother nature. It's in all the African languages. It's in all the languages of the world. We are nature. We've just forgotten that. So when we remember that, it's really simple. When we remember to love and respect nature, we suddenly reconnect. So you will find that tree that you honored might show you flowers the next day, and you will realize you are still connected. But the best way that people in the city can reconnect is to take a weekend away and go and somewhere quiet and listen to the birds and look at the insects and breathe in, just honor the basics of life, without which we would be dead. Start there, and then you build up and you realize you have recovered your own nature, which is lion-hearted, love and respect, fearlessness. That's what enables you to change your world. But they're also the final warning. That is the prophecy, is at the end of times, if humans do not restore balance within ourselves, we will destroy our earth. And the last warning is the sacred white lions. They are a blessing direct from the highest sources of divinity. But they're also a warning that we are at the edge of a massive global disaster. Global climate change is a hint of what is to come. So the reason that they are snow white with blue eyes is they are snow animals. They're saying that the climate can shift with a flash freeze in an instant. But if we restore order in ourselves, we will restore order on our planet. And that is known as the Golden Age. So they are also guarding. Do you see this? This is a symbol of them guarding the gateway of the Golden Age. And all we need to do, it's actually very simple, is to restore balance. And the way we do that is to restore love and respect for nature and take action in that way.
He